Hi Gemini, welcome to your January 2020 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, if you're watching this when I first posted, I'm actually not offering personal readings just yet. But when we actually do get into the month of January, I will have them opened up by then. So just check out the description of the video for more info on all that. As for what we have in front of us, this is what I call the bridge in the gap spread, and the way it works is on the left side here we have the cards that represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. On the right side we have the cards that represent your main love interest energy toward the connection, and these are the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards to gain some additional insight. That's where the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. And as for the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Now, I think you guys might have broken a record for most cards in one of these spreads, but with that said, starting with the past energy on your side, we have Wisdom. This is the equivalent of the High Priestess. Nine of Coins, which is the same as Nine of Pentacles, of course. Eight of Staves, which is the same as the Eight of Wands. And then Contemplation, which is the same as the Hermit card. So, interesting mixture of energies here, but here's what I would say. Well, we'll look at a few different scenarios. Wisdom, this is the High Priestess card, which for you guys is your 10th house. So for some of you, this could just be saying that maybe some of you were enrolled in school, for example. Maybe you went to college, or maybe you're trying to get some certification for your career, given that Pisces is your 10th house of career, and we do see the book open there. And if that's the case, you were trying to increase your finances in the process, and also because maybe you were so focused on your schooling, maybe you were making sure to just stay single, you didn't want to be tied down to anything because you were keeping that as your primary focus. And maybe now you might be wrapping that up, because with the Eight of Staves here, we see a lot of action being taken. It could have just been a lot of communication coming into you. And then with the Contemplation, what I'm feeling here is this might have been someone who made you an offer. So maybe there's someone who's interested in you. They might have made you a love offer, and now you're actually contemplating it. Because again, the Hermit energy is in a way tied into this Wisdom energy to me as well, which is again pointing to your focus is really elsewhere right now. And you do seem to be enjoying your singlehood, but it looks like someone might have really come forward toward you with maybe even a rather aggressive offer, and you're just thinking it over, but you're not really showing how you feel about it one way or the other. I also feel too, especially given that he does have his back to the cards on this side, which is just to say that they might not know if you're interested or not. So you could be playing your cards close to your vest for some reason, but yeah. What else comes to mind with these? And I do have to say, for some of you, this could also be maybe you're the one who's contemplating extending an offer to someone, possibly even a Virgo, because this is Virgo energy here, that's Virgo energy there. And maybe this even says that you do extend that offer to them, right, with the Eight of Staves, and it could just be saying that they're thinking about it, but they just might not have gotten back to you yet. Maybe what's at play there. And let me see if anything else comes to mind. That's pretty much it. I'm getting that for some of you, you just really were wrapped up in career, not even paying any mind to your love lives, and maybe someone made you an offer, like I said, possibly rather aggressively. Or this could just be saying that it might have happened right around when Sagittarius season first started, so maybe it's during that Sag new moon, so the last weekend of November. And maybe it's just saying that you still haven't really, made a definite decision one way or the other. Past energy on their side, we have the Ace of Swords. So usually with the aces, I say that this is more something in the idea stage, which is to say this is someone who wants to communicate with you. But given what we see on the side here, and just the artwork, right, this person does seem like they would be a bit aggressive, right? So I feel like for some of you in the past, someone did extend an offer to you. They let you know that they were interested in you. Maybe even the sexual thing too, maybe that's what the wand energy is all about, and maybe that was just the nature of your connection, because again, if you made it clear that, hey, I have a lot of other things going on right now, right? Maybe they were fine with that. But at the same time, too, given all the bondage theme going on in the card, it could just be saying that maybe they communicated that they were fine with that too, but maybe their actual goal was to secure a relationship with you. In the present position, we have the Princess of Coins, which is the equivalent of the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Coins, which is the Ten of Pentacles, more Virgo energy there, and Fortune, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So, interesting thing here. So, one thing that I'm thinking of is the fact that we did see the Nine of Pentacles in the past, and now we see the Princess of Coins with one pentacle, and then the Ten of Pentacles, right? So, this could really be you thinking over that offer that you might have gotten, right? That's what I'm picking up on there and realizing, okay, well, I have 9 alone. This person offered me something, so that would be the 10th one, right? You could just be thinking about, all right, well, what would that be like, right? You're just trying to envision, can you see it working out for you? It looks like it is an offer that you might be, being guided to take, actually, with the fortune card here, because we look, this looks almost like a ghostly figure. It looks like they're trying to communicate to her. So it could just be saying that you might even just feel nudged to make that move. And, I do have to say, Capricorn recently moved, or rather, Jupiter recently moved into Capricorn, which is your 8th house, but it's in such early degrees that for a lot of you, it could still be wrapping up in the last degrees of your 7th house. So that could even be pointing to why you might have that, maybe a lucky connections come your way. Anyway, and like I said, and then seeing the pentacle here again too could be pointing at that same theme, which is to say, you really just might be focused on career, but you're trying to contemplate, can you actually fit a relationship in your life as well? That's what I'm picking up on there. And I get, someone else got this card as well, and I was mentioning how, to me, it looks like the way the trees look, it looks like the leaves have already pretty much fallen off of them, so that makes me think of the fact that this could be something that you've been contemplating for a while. And it could just be saying that when you make up your mind, if we look look at how much growth there is in the grass and the trees out there, right? They could just be saying that once you finally make up your mind, that's what's waiting for you, basically, and that would change your fortune. So, interesting energies there. Now, the interesting thing on this side is we have the Tower card. So this seems to not fit at all, right? Especially because I don't really see that you guys are ever really entered into a commitment with this person. So this can just be pointing to a few things. For one, well, I do have to say this person seems to be pretty intense given her energy so far, so that's one way you could look at it. But another way that this could be pointing out as well is to say that maybe they could be the ones who are in another connection. And if that's the case, be careful. You know what I mean? Because you could look at the artwork there, right? If they might give you the impression that they're single and you think everything's fine, and that might not be the case, that could be some pretty negative energy. But trying to see if there's any other way this could play out. Yeah, because like I said, the main thing is I don't really see the commitment yet between the two of you. So, you can't really, it's hard to envision a cheating scenario in that case. But either way, I do have to say, if you are, let's say that you're giving this person the impression that you're in a monogamous connection, but you are dating multiple people, definitely watch out for that. Because, we see the artwork here again, right? So, just something to be mindful of. So either way, whether it's you who might be dealing with multiple people, you might want to make that clear, or, if you feel it's someone else, just keep an eye out for that. If they might be telling you that they're single, but they're really not, that could bring some issues as well. But, and I do have to say that for some, this could just be, to me, the Tower is divine intervention. So if we look at that energy in that regard, and then we also look at the fact that here I was saying that it looks like this figure here is trying to speak to them, and it's on the fortune card, so it could just be saying that that's what's at play too, where maybe there's things at play trying to pull the two of you together right now. But if that's the case, it looks like the energy might be a bit harsher on their side, you know. And let's just put it in a real generic way, which is to say, if they're the ones who made the advance toward you, right, and you haven't really made up your mind yet, then that could be a tower moment for them, right? Because maybe they're just really disappointed that things haven't taken off. So it doesn't have to be anything too drastic, but yeah, I mean, the artwork kind of speaks for itself in a way too, right? Where it doesn't look like the most comfortable energy. So see what's going on there. Then in the future energy, we have judgment. So this actually to me is a Scorpio energy. I always point out that the death card represents the death side of Scorpio energy, and then to me this represents the rebirth side. So this can be something coming back around. Now again, it can be this offer, right? Maybe it's saying judgment as far as you have to make up your mind, right? In the near future, that's one way it could be playing out. Or even for some of you, if this was someone that you were thinking of extending an offer to and maybe you just didn't, maybe this is saying that now that opportunity might come back up for you again. And for some of you, this could even be, quite frankly, that maybe if this person was in another connection, maybe that connection broke apart. And then maybe that's what's giving you the opportunity to get with them now. You know, maybe they realized that the person they were with was cheating and then they cut off the ties because of that. Because a lot of this, too, you know, if we do think about what I was originally saying about the Ace of Swords and then the wisdom, the contemplation, there might not have been communication regarding feelings in the past too. That's another way it could be playing out. And this could just be saying that you'd been waiting forever to make that offer, right? And then maybe you get your opportunity as far as maybe they were in another connection and that went south, and now, you know, they might be single. So a few different ways that could be playing out. All right, future energy on their side, we have the Fool. So again, like I said, I'm picking up on, if anything here, the energy on this side does seem to be pretty intense, whoever this is. So, I mean, for some of you, maybe it is the Sagittarius. We did see some Virgo energies as well. So they're certainly not known to be intense typically, but yeah. So with the Fool energy here, could just be a continuation of the Tower, which, like I said, maybe they discovered some kind of infidelity and they left the connection behind because of that. Or this could just be them, again, if maybe this was an offer that wasn't necessarily communicated, right? Maybe now they're actually going to make that move and make the offer to you, and that could be why you have the judgment on your side, where maybe you didn't think that there was a chance, right, for the two of you to be together. Because, I mean, if we do look at their energy here, this person does look a bit disappointed, right? So maybe it's even one of those things where you might look at it as an opportunity that you lost, right? Because maybe you took too long because you were so focused on career or school, whatever, and then you're looking back like, oh man, that could have been my 10 of Pentacles, right? But now the opportunity's gone. It could just be one of those things where all of a sudden their connection goes away. And like I said, that could just be pointing to, you know, maybe just the universe trying to pull the two of you together for whatever reason. And then we see the Fool energy here. So that could be what's at play. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Two of Staves. So this definitely does look like you're ready to start something. This card represents the first 10 degrees of Aries, and that's your 11th house. So this could even be someone that you'd been friends with for a while. Maybe you had feelings. That could be one way it's playing out. Maybe someone you might have met while in school, for example. But yeah, pretty positive energy as far as being ready to take action and get something started there. We do see the Ace of Coins beneath that too, so there's some potential for stability there. And then bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Nine of Wands. So interesting thing with this to me is maybe this is pointing to, for some of you, they might have made this offer around the time of the Gemini full moon, because the Gemini full moon was actually in the middle 10 degrees of Gemini, which would have been when the sun was in these 10 degrees of Sagittarius. So maybe there's some significance for that for you guys. But aside from that, you know, this could just be one energy looks a little guarded, right? Like if we look at the guy there, it looks like he might be covering her mouth, and it looks like she's trying to, you know, speak to him about something. So maybe there's some kind of history that you guys might have had. And then beneath that, I'm not going to keep going under the deck forever, but we have the Queen of Wands too. So like I was saying, this person definitely seems to have some intense energy. So for some of you, this could be an Aries you're dealing with. But yeah, let's see if we get some additional messages from the Oracle cards. So first, I'll see if we can get anything from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck here. For those of you who haven't seen this type of spread from me before, I actually pre-shuffle these decks, and then I'm just looking for jumpers here. So first I'll look to see if there's any unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you after that. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, I just take that as a sign to keep it moving, since it's just a general reading. But in the personal readings, I do always pull these cards, if you guys are curious about that. Alright, so let's see if we get any unspoken messages from you to them. Okay, nothing coming up there. So next we'll see if there's any from them to you. Okay, nothing coming up there either, but I'll give it a few more shuffles. Oh, got one there. Okay, it says, you inspire me. So, you know, nothing groundbreaking there, I suppose. But yeah, definitely does look like I said, this person seems pretty passionate. And like I said, maybe it's even someone that you might have met through school or work or something along those lines. But yeah, let's see what the Wisdom of the Oracle deck adds to the mix. So, same situation here. I pre-shuffled this deck as well, and then we're just looking for one card here, and we'll wrap up. Okay, got one there. Alright, we got Fork in the Road. There's the artwork, and the number is 13. And now I do have to say, some of you might be dealing with an Aquarius, because it seems like they always get this card for some reason, whether it's in the general readings or in the love readings. So it's possible you guys are dealing with an Aquarius, and maybe that's what that 11th house thing was there, or maybe you have an Aquarius placement in your chart too. It says, time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. So yeah, for some of you, that could be pointing to what I was feeling there, where, like I said, maybe they made an offer to you in the past, and then this just represents, or not even just this, but also in the past, with the contemplate, the wisdom. It looks like you were really thinking it over, right? Maybe trying to weigh up the options as far as, all right, well, you know, maybe you're thinking about what you'd have to give up, right? If you were in that Nine of Pentacles energy, which seems to be enjoying being single, right? So maybe you're trying to see, all right, well, could I make that work in my life? And it looks like you could just still be thinking about it, right? And then it looks like I said, you might even just be getting nudged from the universe to actually make up your mind. So maybe that's what this is pointing to there. All right, the Oracle's message says, every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. You will further your dreams by will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. So I do have to say, you guys are actually going to have Mars move into your opposite sign of Sagittarius early on in January. Maybe that's what actually gets everything rolling in that regard too. So maybe that's where this energy is coming from. Alright, the relationship message says you've reached a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Which will you choose? To open up to the possibility of love or to remain isolated? To go deeper and commit to mutual passion or to walk away? This is a time to take responsibility for your truest desire and follow it. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to do, invest, and give, then choose. You cannot make a wrong choice. If you move forward with a relationship, know that it will be based in truth and authenticity. You will have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone, or ending things because you're afraid of the intensity of genuine connection. All roads lead to the lessons you must learn in your relationships. Regardless of the decision you make, it will place you on the path to a truer experience of the heart. So, hopefully that resonated with you guys. Like I said, I can see how that energy could tie into what we were seeing here, definitely on that side. The other person, like I said, seems to be a bit more aggressive, so I really do feel like this is going to resonate for those of you whose energy is on this side. But we'll wrap up there, guys. Happy New Year, and I'll see you all next month. Bye.